But the most common hiding place is the anus, a method that they call suitcasing.
Okay.
God's pocket.
I've had to retrieve items like balloons filled with drugs, porn photos, and even a Sharpie, which the inmates use for tattooing.
Coming up for you this hour, we have something pretty interesting. It's a spin from the Idaho prison pen pals thing that Gina has brought up a couple times in the show and that Greg's obsessed with.
Yeah, it's so fascinating to me for some reason that
and
you're even allowed to do this.
And I don't want to say something that I shouldn't. So, Greg, why don't you explain what we're doing this hour that's in relation to that?
So I have a friend who is in law enforcement, and I was talking to this person about this particular segment, what we call the Idaho prison pen pals.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I said, how on earth is this allowed? And he said, where is this happening? And I said, it's at this place in Kuna, Idaho. And sure enough, this friend used to work there.
Incredible.
Oh.
What are the odds?
At the actual place where these pen pals are.
And so Gina's been obsessed with these things. And so she had all these questions.
Yeah.
Right. So
and Greg's had questions.
So we sent off a ton of questions to ask and got the answers to how they're allowed to do this, along with some other random
Tasty
prison
morsels.
info.
Okay.
A satisfaction of curiosity.
Yeah, it's
Scratch
pretty
that
interesting.
itch.
Yeah. And then I guess you got a couple new clips.
Well, yeah, just to
play.
refresh everyone's memory about these amazing
prisoners,
dudes.
Yeah, these prisoners, they make these videos, basically like, hey, girl, so hit me up.
I'm just looking for some
was it
conversation.
JPay or
JPay.
JPay?
Put some money on my book.
Put some money on my book so I can, make some prison spread.
And then I got some answers as to who responds to these dudes.
Oh,
it's pretty weird.
When I, talked to Gina.
Likewise.
Super into it.
She brought that into my universe. I think it's interesting just because how?
Yeah, how and why?
Like I get people who are not in prison, having a video personals service or ad or whatever they can do, online dating. But how are these prisoners doing this?
There's a will, there's a way.
And it's working.
Yeah, and then
it works.
It turns out Greg knows somebody
who used to work at the actual place.
So
crazy.
Has since gotten a job in a different law enforcement capacity. But when I found out this was the actual place where these pen pals are from, I thought, finally I can learn, how is this even allowed?
Yeah, so many questions that Gina's had and that a couple of us have had. And so Greg reached out to this friend of his and got those answers, which we're going to get to. But just to get everybody kind of caught up, if you're not familiar with this Idaho prison pen pal thing it's this account that Gina follows.
Yeah, it's on TikTok and on Instagram, and it's the IDOC or whatever, Idaho Department of Corrections. And these dudes basically send out, cast a wide net for the ladies to, just someone to talk to, But they all sound different. Here's one of the inmates.
Okay.
I want you to tell the ladies out there that I'm single and ready to mingle. Well, at least for the next 15 years, you'll know where I'll be. Hey, shut the f*** up. I'm making my video over here. Sorry about that.
No, nice guy.
They do all kinds of stuff.
That's the thing. He's not ready to mingle.
No,
he's lying.
Exactly. And we have another example, too. This is he's more laid back. Take it or leave it.
Okay.
Well, my name's Juan. About to get out 3 to 4 months. I'm just trying to I've been down for 4.5 years, and I'm telling you right now, you ain't ready for what I'm ready to put down right now. So, if you're interested, add me. If not, be fit, bitch. Later.
Wow.
Pre-hating.
Yeah, so all kinds of guys.
He told me I'm not ready. What does he want me to do?
Some of them some of them are really romantic.
Oh, very.
Like this guy.
So I've been doing time here for 12 years, and I get out in 6 months scot-free. So I'm looking for a badass chick with daddy issues, spit in my mouth and call me daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He knows what he wants.
Other guys who are serenading, they're singing
The way I'm feeling, I just can't deny.
singing like a little Rihanna.
I love it.
You know what I mean? They're making it happen.
Banger. Dumb banger.
What was that? What's this song called? What's the name of it?
Oh, Love in a Hopeless Thing?
All right, dude, take it.
The way I'm feeling, I just can't deny.
Hell yeah, this guy's getting so much action.
Found love in a hopeless place.
From prison to duet.
Found love in a hopeless place.
good.
All right, so
good.
That's what we're talking about. These guys, they make these messages.
Yeah,
Yep.
so clearly my number one question was, is this even allowed? Do you know that they're doing it? Do you ever try to stop them, or is it just no big deal? And the official answer is that video chats are allowed in prisons across the country as a way for inmates to connect with family and friends.
Doesn't
But
qualify.
But what
once
are they using to do it? Are they video phones, like
Yeah,
Yes.
like pay phones, basically? But
Essentially,
has it-
like
Record messages.
like a janky version of FaceTime.
yeah,
kinda.
but I'm saying that they don't have their own phone.
no.
Yeah, they
well-
don't have
Okay.
recording.
No, it's
Gotcha.
in the prison.
All right,
but-
that makes a lot more sense.
And they say one surprising trend in these videos is flirting, that a single inmate could record a video message asking to connect, and within a day or two, he would see 10 to 15 responses from women per video.
Wow.
Says these men are very charismatic, they're master manipulators, and this is the losery part. Within a week, some women would send hundreds and hundreds of dollars to their accounts, believing that they were already in a relationship with these guys.
Oh my God.
Lucky.
Master
Dude,
manipulators.
you know how good and strong your pimp hand has to be
Oh, yeah.
to be able to pull that from behind prison walls?
You never even
Yeah.
see them.
How many followers on this account?
Oh,
Like hundreds of thousands?
thousands. Yeah, I mean, tons.
No, because I was like, to find somebody, I know the women are out there, but to find 14 within a day to respond.
Yes.
And send
Like-
hundreds
And-
of dollars.
So many of the responses are chicks going, I can change him. I could change him.
Right.
I have what it takes.
One of the other questions I asked was, what's the most creative way you've seen an inmate try to smuggle something inside?
Oh, yeah.
And the answer was some letters get soaked in meth or other substances, making those drugs undetectable to the human eye.
And that's why Morgan's letter got sent back. Remember she
'Cause she's
perfumed it?
spraying
Perfume
stuff
on
on
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he's out of jail now. So
Oh, you can.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to do perfume.
That's true.
he never came for me.
Now, is this a secret? We don't tell your boyfriend about this, right? Like,
Oh, he's heard about this.
Oh.
yeah.
Ooh. Also said that they can hide stuff in their hair, their beards, or even the soles of their feet. But the most common hiding place is the anus, a method that they call suitcasing.
God's pocket.
Said it's astonishing how much can be put up there. I've had to retrieve items like balloons filled with drugs, porn photos, and even a Sharpie, which the inmates use for tattooing.
Can you not have porn
Oh, wow.
photos? Like, can these women
contraband.
send? Oh, that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Like, so the women that send the stuff to these dudes, if they could send.
I don't think
No,
those are
I-
allowed.
nudies.
I think they're only allowed to send money to put on their
Yeah?
books, and that's
Oh.
it. And
I know, but
to
if you send a
Letters.
letter to somebody, like, you include
art.
a picture in there.
Yeah.
And then the money only goes to their commissary.
Yeah, the
right?
JPay.
And that's it. That,
Like-
you know, it's not
You
good
don't
for
just get
anything
cash.
else.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you be able to have that stuff? I would think that would might, kind of take care of some of the
I think that
drama.
I'm
sexual tension.
Well,
I'm
people
guessing
might
that's the
fight over it.
stress,
They might
yeah.
want to steal your photos.
Right. It becomes
Yeah.
currency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody said my stepbrother was in those videos from Idaho. He gets tons of messages and money.
what?
562 texting over.
Let's make some fake ones.
Weird. I know.
Seriously.
Hey, what up?
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many questions.
Hit my Venmo.
Like what's we know that this is a tough job. What's the most rewarding part? And I like this answer. He says there've been a few cases where someone's truly turned their life around, gotten out, started a family, left their past behind, and knowing that I helped an inmate get into school or a trade program is the real reward. Like it happens.
Do these
No.
guys keep in touch with
I-
some of these
I
former
don't know.
inmates?
I doubt
Very
I
it.
bad
don't
idea.
know, but I do know somebody that a radio person that fell in love with somebody that was in jail that would call in, and they've had a pretty awesome life since. The guy
Really?
did turn his life around, and they started a business, and they're doing really well.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
Just
It
watch
happens.
Love After Lockup.
Yeah.
it happens.
On the darker side of things, we asked, what's the most surprising thing you learned about human nature when you worked in that prison? And the answer was, the most surprising thing I've encountered is real, actual evil. Never in my life did I think I would come face to face with true evil, but it is real. It does exist. I've had conversations with it, and I even served it breakfast.
Hannibal
Okay.
Lecter.
You got to give us some details, dork.
Yeah, we need more.
Yeah.
Well, I like this. We asked, how do you keep your cool when dealing like with an aggro inmate? And he says they call it verbal judo. And they have weeks where they spend learning how to communicate with these guys. Said it's extremely rare for an inmate to attack an officer. In this job, we wear a lot of hats. Most important is to be someone who listens and a shoulder to cry on. But on the opposite side of that, he says the bottom line is inmates are going to fight if they want to, but we have all kinds of tools to handle it. OC spray, pepper spray. He says it's rare that I must go hands-on with an inmate, but when it happens, they lose.
Yeah, dog.
All right.
Wow. 661 texting over that they were on a dating site, met a guy, talked for a couple weeks, caught the whole love feeling really fast. Turned out he was in prison. We FaceTimed. Once I knew, he told me he'd be out within the year, and so I hung on.
Uh-oh.
But after 2 parole denials, it finally came to light that he was a lifer for murder.
He lied, you don't say.
What?
As a woman, you know there are other gentlemen who aren't in jail.
I know.
I know. There's got to be a name for this phenomenon, right?
There's some really nice guys out there
Yeah.
who are free and
a little shy,
not criminals.
They might not come up to you and lay down a really
but
cool
they're
pickup
boring.
line on you.
This is the ultimate bad boy.
They're boring.
Yeah.
They can't, they can't call their girlfriends and say and talk about all the drama that they've gone through.
And they won't murder for me.
Yeah.
Right. And like Love After Lockup, which a show I am obsessed with. One of them will call, like, the kids are fighting at the grocery store. I'm going to call your father. And then she calls, this is an inmate recorded line. Like, okay, what's he going to do about it?
Yeah.
What's he going to do about anything?
Exactly.
At the radio station? You ever get those
anything.
calls when you worked at a radio station?
Oh, yeah. This call is recorded for the inmate. Yeah, totally.
So, an inmate at the whatever.
And they have to say it like
facility.
every 30 seconds or whatever.
I haven't dug into this one, but dug into it. Dug into it. But apparently there's a very popular streamer named Ash, and all she does is date these guys.
I got to see that.
And there's drama, and she like streams 24/7, and then her daughter is now into
she's got a
dating
kid. Oh, that's good.
They're into dating these. The daughter's into dating these guys.
So she's an adult
and then
too.
They fight over which inmate
cool.
that they're going to hook up with.
I wonder if they're both fit in the same suitcase.
I don't know.
When somebody inevitably murders them.
Yeah.
But
same duffel bag.
apparently very popular online about following their drama of dating all these inmate guys.
Yeah, there was one of those real crime accounts that popped up in the Instagram feed, and they had surveillance video of this guy coming into the apartment building, arm around this chick, and they're going up the elevator, and a couple hours later, come back out. She's dead. She's in the suitcase.
Oh, no.
And he's taking her out.
Oh,
it was like some. I thought about Gina because she loves all those stories.
I do.
Like all that true crime stuff. But it's
I
like
find it so soothing.
this was a woman who was on vacation and just met this rando guy, and then went back to his, like, what are you doing in a foreign country?
Hey, YOLO, right?
What are you doing?
Hey.
YOLO.
Yeah. Like, people are like, why are you hitting these guys up?
Well,
They're in prison for a reason.
They can't. What can they provide for you?
And see, but like, how do you think this is going to end positively, in a positive way?
Well, we just heard right there. They'll come out and you'll get rehabilitated.
Yeah, I
One
mean,
out of 1,000.
Well, Woody, as a
They'll
father
start a
with
business together.
with a daughter, what if your daughter met a dude in prison and told you about it?
well, I mean,
How do you put an end to that?
if she's an adult, what are you going to do?
Well, because you know at that
That's
point,
so pathetic.
you know at that point you've screwed something up.
Yeah, that's
Why
kind
did
of
I
on
screw
you.
something up?
Point of no return.
I
If
don't
she's
know.
into that guy,
Right.
some wires got crossed at some point.
So you're
Maybe
like,
it's just a curiosity, like a morbid curiosity. People have that curiosity. They
Yeah.
they
But
can't
I
help
really
themselves.
want you to accept him as your son-in-law.
Oh no, that's
Daddy.
not happening. No.
Daddy,
Well, I've
he's
seen
your
documentary
son.
footage when they have these conjugal visits, and they have these certain areas of the prison where they set it up to look basically like an old-timey apartment.
Oh, yeah.
Full-on
Yeah.
couch, bed, little
Right.
kitchenette.
Huh.
The wife will come and make dinner for them.
Yeah, you get like a
And-
hot plate.
And then they have X amount of hours. I think it's 4 hours, and
Yeah.
you can bang, and you can have a normal life for a while.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
a
don't know
good
how
incentive.
often these conjugal visits are.
I'm not in favor of that. You're in jail.
Right, you murdered
Yeah,
somebody.
if you want that kind of experience, that kind of life,
now you're playing
Yeah.
house.
yeah.
You can
no.
find a nice-looking boy
Yeah,
and
not done.
pretend
Away
with
from your
him in
victims.
jail.
Woody Show.
Welcome back. We're going through some more of the questions that we've had for how this whole Idaho prison pen pal thing works.
Yeah, it's in a place called Kuna. And a friend of mine
Idaho.
is a former employee of this place.
Yeah, like, so Gina's brought those clips to the show where these guys are doing their little personal ads.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get checked. And a lot of what you hear, one of the questions is,
It works.
within 24 hours, it'll be 14.
Oh, cripple ladies.
14 chicks in some prisoner's inbox.
All responding, all sending
Sending money, yeah.
thinking they're already in a relationship.
Yeah. That's so sad.
One of the questions they asked is, what changes would you like to see in the prison system? And I the former me would have disagreed with this, but now I kind of agree. It says, I would like to see shorter sentences for drug addicts. Taking somebody's freedom for drug possession, especially when they're struggling with addiction, doesn't make sense to me. Putting a drug addict in a cell with a dangerous criminal is cruel.
Oh.
The old me would have totally disagreed with that. Now I kind of agree with that. It's not the same thing. You're a drug addict, so we're going to put you next to a murderer.
Yeah.
It's not equivalent to me.
It should be drug prisons or something.
Yeah. Some sort of other
rehab
entity.
Yeah.
They're also, there's tons of prisons around the country. There's tons of guards and COs and officers and all kinds of stuff. And I had to ask, what advice do you give to somebody who wants a career like this? Like, do people want this career? Do you grow up thinking this is what you're going to do? And he says no one grows up wanting to work in corrections. It just happens. Many people use it as a stepping stone into patrol or other law enforcement roles. If you really want to help someone, look into being a counselor at the prison. He says, honestly, I wouldn't recommend corrections to anyone. It'll find you whether you're looking for it or not.
There's a stepping stone to parole. I thought like every police department on earth is looking for officers. Like it seems like they're so desperate for cops.
Some it's like a rotation where you have to do a certain amount of time.
Exactly.
Somewhere else.
I have a friend who's a cop, a motorcycle cop, and they have mandatory overtime. And part of that overtime is you must be a guard in the prison on this day
Really?
or whatever. Yeah. It's kind of like they don't want to do it, but they have to do it.
Wow. It would
Text
suck.
909. I'm actually dating a guy who did 30 plus years in prison. He's been out for over 10, has completely changed his life, does well financially, and goes to juvenile detention centers to talk to the kids about staying out of trouble.
Oh, I love those.
Treats me like a queen.
Ooh.
And I want for nothing.
30 years?
30 years.
That's a long time. You did something bad if you're in there for 30 years.
818 says, I don't know about the prisons, but I do know for sure that even in just county jails across the East Coast, they give every inmate their own tablet.
Lucky.
They can stream music. They can send text messages and video calls.
Fun.
Wow.
So I can only assume that on the prison side, they're also having their own personal device. Man, that's going to take away the whole, butt cameling thing.
Yeah. What happened to the little mini phone we wanted to suitcase?
Will it keister?
Yeah.
Will it keister?
Yeah, we're going to try putting it's these little small cell phones that Ben has found.
The size of your pinky.
We could still do that, guys.
Yeah.
Look, if we want to put things in our butt, we can still make it happen just for,
the pinky
experimental purposes.
Point being, these inmates have it made.
I know.
How lucky are they?
Free food every day.
Sleep as long as you want.
Right.
Fun.
Play
Watch
cards.
TV.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Bang.
877-44 Woody. Well, thank you for doing that, Greg.
Of course. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a scary world.
Yeah, we always have questions for a lot of these different professions, like when we do the Here to Defend Yourself.
Yeah.
Asking chiropractors, even though
What gives?
quacks.
Yeah.
Quack
And I
practice.
still have this weird obsession with wanting to take a tour of a prison. I think it'd be
Same.
interesting.
Let's do it.
All right, and we're going to take a quick break. More Woody Show is coming up next. Hang on.
The Woody Show.
Back in a bit.